Yo, what is good, my anime people? What is good, yo? So, no guns life. I'm actually very surprised the show is so grounded and has interesting, and relatively watchable story. Like it comes down to, do people judge an anime by its cover, right? Like, when you see this show, what do you see? You see a guy with a gun for a head, and that's pretty much all you have to go off of. You're just kind of like, oh, yeah, it's a gunhead, and that's all you got. But when it comes down to just all the different stuff that actually is being pushed forward, it feels good to know that the show is not just going off of whatever they get, right? They're kind of just making the world around our main characters be so crummy and so trash in the case of what people are willing to do, what people are going to do, and what people have already done. Truly give us the feeling of, man, anything that happens from here on out has got to be better than what they're dealing with now. In the case of, if they get saved by the guy, by Juzo, if they get in a situation where they can actually show their true colors and, be free and stuff like that. So we get to meet two more kids who, at first glance, definitely looks like they're the ones who need help and should be helped at this case, but they turn out to be more than meets the eye. Um, with our main guy, the gun, Juzo, not wanting to do everything for others, and including kids at that, he kind of makes it a point to turn down any opportunity for this kid to go out and save people who are supposedly being attacked, or kids that are supposedly being attacked, because he's not back in the facility. He's not back where he's supposed to belong. So others are suffering for that reason alone. And that's something he doesn't want to go on. But Juzo's still hearing all that and knowing that he can't stand on his own won't help him. So what does he do? Uses harmony to take over that man's body and puts himself in a box or like a little baggie and carries himself looking for these people attacking kids. Which, interesting enough, Juzo pretty much told him to do this, right? He pretty much said, if you could stand up on your own, I'll help you, or like it'd be that much easier to have this whole situation being worked out if you could do things for yourself. And now he's doing that. He's using you to do that. So looks like he's doing quite well. So I thought it was hilarious that that was, just one of the cases of him kind of now should be regretting his own words. Like, him taking over this body is also kind of telling of how Juzo is in general, with them explaining a lot about the subbrain and how the subbrain is something that once you control, you pretty much control everything of the body. But for some reason, he's having hard time controlling all of the body, almost as if that brain that he supposedly is, supposed to take over, is being difficult. It's being not as simple as the other ones he's taken over multiple times. So that's also telling of this character, and just what the heck he may be or may not be. Like, he may just be something much more different in advance, that if he sold his information about himself, that might, put people in jeopardy and stuff like that. So it's interesting. Holy crap. It's interesting when this stuff kind of pops up, because all of the show is going to start kind of revolving around, these three characters: the guy, the little kid, the girl who can fix people, and then the gun. Um, it's clearly the world is not evolving around them, but it's targeting them in general. Just because he has these people around him, or just because you're around these people, you're going to be targeted. You're going to be found out probably, just because that's how they're using any means necessary to really get their answers and their overall progression out of attacking someone that more than likely they wanted help from than to be against them. So it already kind of tells you a bit about your adversary if the first thing you try to do is sway them to your side once you first kind of find out you have to go against them. So you've already told them you're not that strong to beat him, but you wouldn't mind if he joined. Like, please join us because we probably can't beat you. Always remember that is how some people think. So it's funny to see that aspect coming out, and then them trying to fight the person that they were willing to hire. It's like that guy who shows up in the beginning of the episode, kind of trying to size him up and everything, trying to figure out what Juzo's all about. But he comes to find out real quick that he's as tough as he's letting on. Like, this isn't just a front. This is how he is. And if you want to go any further, I suggest you get ready for a fight. So he didn't go any further, which makes this guy smarter than most people. Makes him smarter than most. But still, he put himself, well, not him, not Juzel himself, but the guy who was chasing down these two girls that are more than meets the eye, comes to find out that they weren't the ones that needed the saving, right? They were the ones being chased because of the things our kid is trying to stop from happening. They're the reasons why these kids are going under and not being able to move or be able to react, is because the poison that one of these girls possess in her body with her extension is something that immobilizes its target. And I think because he's inside of Juzo, it didn't immobilize him probably long as it should have, which is interesting to think about as well. So there's a lot of little details that is happening with how, I mean, like, imagine if it was him in his own body. He probably would have been down for the count, maybe. But since someone else is inhabiting in it, maybe the effects didn't wear nearly as strong on the user who's actually in the back being carried in a tub or whatever you want to call it. But overall, I do definitely recommend checking this out and giving it a watch, because at this point I feel like it's unique enough to be like, okay, this is cool, and whatever happens from here on out could be, groundbreaking in the case of for the show and for the world of which it's in. So I do expect something big to pop off, even though something already big is popping off. I expect that this is just a mere little taste of it, and unlike Assassin's Pride, this show is even banking more on the slow build than that show, which kind of just gave away one of its even more bigger things that I talk about in my review before this is even out. So definitely check that out if you want to understand the comparison. But I just believe with how they're going with telling the story of this, there's something we're going to be missing at the end or in the middle. And once it fills in, it's going to be extra hype or even doper. But at the same time, it could become one of the things that mess up the show or something. Because I'm not someone that just looks at the positive. I also look at all the things that could be possible, and that could 100% be possible. Them bringing something into the story that ruins it less than it was supposed, it's supposed to be the one thing that makes the show cool and kick off things, and it might be something that ruins it at the end of the day. So let's not hope for anything like that, but at the same time, don't go into anything not expecting something to maybe be worse than they can sell it, or like if they do sell something really well, that might mean something bad in the background's coming up. And the other thing that I noticed that was kind of like an eyesore for me is the CGI, but this is the type of CGI that I don't care about, right? Like, the only time they're using it is for non-related characters to the story that are they're just people around. Like, they're such random people, they don't even deserve amazing animation. And the other time is maybe like a car or something. I don't even know if we saw a car this week. I'm just saying, like, that's usually what these CGI stuff is used for. So overall, I hope you guys have an amazing day, night, evening. I do have another 2 videos I want to drop before the end of the day, so it's about 2 o'clock right now when I'll be trying to get these 2 videos out to you guys. So once 4 or 5 shows up, PTS, I will try to already have those other 2 videos out for you guys. So with all that being said, have an amazing one, and I will definitely talk to you later. So with all that being said, peace. Ew.